Hey everybody, hunter, fisher, trapper, trader, guide, scout, and interpreter, and just a country cook, Steve Hall, here in Nashville, Tennessee, along with the prettiest camera girl in the world, Miss Sheila. Hi, Sheila.
Hi.
Today we're going to make delicious deep-fried chicken fingers, but we're going to marinate them in duck sauce and then put them in a breading that's so good, and we're going to have a little dipping sauce at the end that I'll tell you about. And what is duck sauce? Well, it ain't made from ducks. It's actually made from plums. In fact, when you open this up and take a little sip, it almost tastes like plum jelly. It's really, really delicious. And we're going to put a little water, a little salt, a little plum sauce in here and marinate these chicken tenders. Now, I bought 2 packages of chicken tenders, 1 pound each. It's actually chicken tenderloin, and I got them all trimmed up here, ready to go. Come on over, let's get started on some delicious deep fried chicken fingers marinated in duck sauce. Come on over. We're going to use about 1/2 cup of our duck sauce here. It's almost just like plum jelly. It's so, so delicious. And then, so it'll kind of cover everything, all of our tenderloins, we're going to put in 1 cup of water. And one of these recipes calls for a tablespoon of salt, and I think that's a little too much. So we're just going to go with a teaspoon of salt in this recipe. And then we're just going to whip this up real good until the duck sauce is dissolved, which doesn't take too much. Perfect. Then we're going to start adding these little tenderloins. And remember, I had to cut them down the middle to get that little tendon out of there. So we'll put our chicken tenderloins in there. This will be just enough to marinate these good. Now I'll tell you another little tip. The FDA has been talking about when you open up a package of chicken, whether it's chicken breasts, chicken tenderloins, a whole chicken or whatever, don't rinse it off in the sink, because all you're doing is contaminating everything in the area of the sink. Believe it or not, because you're going to cook it, and in this case we're going to deep fry it at 350 degrees, we just went right from the packaging to trimming and right into the bowl over here and didn't even go to the sink. So in your case, if you have some chicken, like chicken breasts or whatever, just take them right out of the package and put them right on the pan, season them up, and cook them just the way they are. Don't take them and rinse them off, even a whole chicken. If you rinse it off, everything that sprays around in the kitchen can be contaminated. Well, this is ready to go. We got that sweet duck sauce, enough water to kind of cover and marinate all of it. And we're going to cover this up and we're going to put it in the refrigerator for about an hour. Now, the only reason we're doing it for an hour is because you should really do it for about 24 hours. But we just want to get it back here so we can show you the rest of the recipe. So we'll cover this up with some cellophane, pop it in the refrigerator, probably put it on the bottom shelf so it don't drip on anything, of course. And then we're going to bring it back in an hour and show you the next step. All right, we got our little deep fryer heating up over here, but we need to make a dredge because that chicken is just about done marinating in the refrigerator. We're going to start out with 2 cups of flour. Now this is kind of crazy, but there's some recipes that call for 1 3/4 cup of flour. Just dump 2 cups in there. Nobody's going to notice the difference, especially them little chunks of chicken in the refrigerator over there. 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and don't worry about any of the ingredients because I'll put it all in the description box below the video. And then we got 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and this is up to you, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You do want to put at least 1/4 teaspoon in there to give it a little bit of a kick. Well, let's get this all mixed together. Do I got any flour on me, Sheila?
A little bit.
I guess that's cooking, huh? We got our mixture mixed together. That's hard to say. Now let's go get the chicken fingers, dredge them in this, and put them in the deep fryer once it hits 350. See you in a second. You can see I went back to my New Wave 2 cooktop and my regular Dutch oven. I was going to use that basket in that Copper Chef thing, but it wouldn't heat the oil up fast enough. Now it's at 350, and while I was struggling with that, I almost forgot one step. You don't just go from here into the breading and into the deep fryer. You actually, almost like if you look at our recipe on how we do Nashville hot chicken, is you coat it and then lay it on a rack and put it in the refrigerator for about an hour and let that breading soak through to each piece, just like the Nashville hot chicken recipe. we do that with that too. You know, kind of mix it all on there and lay it on the rack, and it soaks through. All that marinade comes pulling right up to the top of this flour. So let me get these all battered up here and laying on this rack, and I will be back with you. I almost forgot that step because I was struggling with that copper chef thing, which I'm not very happy with. I might use it for some casseroles, or you know, maybe a steamer, because it comes with a steamer rack, and at least it should heat the water up to 212 degrees so it boils down in there. But for right now, as it goes, when it comes to trying to bring oil up quick in that deep frying basket, it just takes too long to get to 350. This went right back up again. My little Dutch oven and my regular little New Wave 2 does great. Let me get these battered up. We'll see you in a little bit. After about an hour in the refrigerator, they get real tacky looking because that marinade soaks through the flour, and our oil is just screaming out for some deep fried chicken fingers marinated in duck sauce. Quack, quack. I like doing that for some reason. Get a few of these cooking in here. All right, come check this out, Sheila. All right, they're deep frying away in here, and I timed it. We're up to 1 minute so far, and I'm going to see if they kind of float to the top like everything else. If you cook oysters or fish or anything, when it floats to the top, it's kind of done, and then I let it cook for about another minute. But I'm going to time this, and I'll get back with you as soon as it's golden brown. You want to make sure that they're done, and it took about 4 minutes for them to float to the top and be there for about 30 seconds. And remember, I cut these things down the middle, so they're pretty thin already. Man, they look good. Look at all the crunchiness to them. I might only go 3.5 minutes on the next batch because these are a little brown, but not bad. Now, Sheila likes fish and chicken fingers and stuff cooked a little darker brown than I do. So she always has me do crappies a little bit darker. And these are just about a degree or two lighter color. So we still keep them nice and golden brown. These have turned out really perfect. We'll get these out of the oil here. Turn this off. Perfect. See, and you can see now that these over here are a little bit lighter than these over here, but they're all done delicious through to the middle. I'm going to move the oil over here. I'm going to move the chicken over here, and we're going to plate this up. Let's do it. This is really a perfect batch because for me, this is perfect, and for Sheila, that's perfect. She likes a little bit darker, a little bit crunchier. So I'm going to load these up on this little tray. This is Sheila's batch over here. And I got to tell you, I snuck a little bite off the end of one of these, and that marinade and that duck sauce and that breading with all the ingredients that we put in the flour is so delicious. Absolutely yummy. These are still a little hot for me to handle. They've been sitting over here for about 5 minutes. I thought they cooled off enough. But apparently, I love the crumbs. Apparently, they're not quite cool enough to handle just yet, but getting real close. I got to pull that out. Ooh, that is hot underneath there. Because Sheila's going to take a picture of this in just a second for our thumbnail on our YouTube channel. But I've been waiting this whole recipe to tell you something. You can eat these with just straight up. They're absolutely delicious with that duck sauce marinade in there and that flour seasoning. Or you can use dips, and you can use like honey mustard or whatever you want. But you got to try what's in the middle of this little serving tray. And I'll tell you what happened. I was over at Elm Hill Marina at the Cove restaurant, and I ordered some onion fingers, I think they call them, or onion petals, I think they were, deep fried. And they had this sauce in the middle, and I dipped it. And it was so delicious, I kind of cornered the chef, and I said, "Do you guys make that sauce? What is that?" He says, "You know," and I got to get a spoon because I got to show you this. He said, "We ordered through a company, but look at all the little peppers in there and stuff. And it's heat and sweet, and it's so delicious. You can see it on the spoon there. Let's get a real close-up, Sheila." He said, "I'll tell you what you do. go right down here to Kroger's and buy this stuff. Frank's Red Hot Sweet Chili Sauce for dipping and more. And they're not kidding either. It is so good. And don't buy the store brand. I love Kroger's products, but don't buy their Kroger equivalent to this here. Make sure you get Frank's Red Hot Sweet Chili Sauce. Get the original. Even he said that. And when you take this and dredge it in that, it's absolutely fabulous. What a delicious recipe. You will love these chicken fingers. They are so good. Get yourself some duck sauce. Don't forget the Frank's Red Hot Sweet Chili Sauce for dipping and all that stuff. Get that flour all seasoned up just right. And make sure you get a cooker that'll heat up quick enough instead of that Copper Chef thing over there. It just don't heat up oil like I like it to. And man, you will absolutely love these deep fried chicken fingers marinated in duck sauce. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and we really hope you subscribe to our channel. Little Shotgun Red's face will pop up over here in a little bit. When it does, slide your mouse right up there and click on it. Then next to the word subscribe, click on the bell so that you'll be notified every time we come out with another recipe. We'll put a few recipes over here so you can look at them as well. And is this the most delicious deep fried chicken fingers marinated in duck sauce you ever ate? If it ain't, it ought to be. It really is delicious. Sheila, did you enjoy this?
I did.
She tried a little bit of it herself, and she don't like real spicy. And this is not too spicy. This is just perfect. Didn't you love it?
I did.
I did too. Anyway, we'll see you next time right here on Cooking with Shotgun Red. Say goodnight, Sheila.
Good night, Sheila.
Bye-bye for now.